Hey everyone, welcome back to Bryan's Mysteries and Adventures on Trail. Today's case is taking us all the way back to January 31st of 1971 to a place called Organ Pipe Cactus National Monument. Now this is located in the Ajo Mountains of Arizona. We're going to be talking about the very bizarre, confusing, and creepy disappearance of a woman by the name of Carol Turner. Despite this case happening over 50 years ago, it is still the largest search effort on rescue in these mountains, with over 3,600 man-hours put in, hundreds and hundreds of volunteers from various areas. I'm going to go into that more. Here is a map of the area. As you can see, it's in very southern Arizona. The Organ Pipe Cactus National Monument is not only just a monument, it is a biosphere reserve. It is the only place in the United States where these organ pipe cactuses or cacti grow. The area is roughly 517 square miles or 1,040 square kilometers in size. Carol was studying biology at the University of New Mexico at the time. She was very interested in these type of things. She was also very interested in hiking. So this is what spawned her desire to go out and visit this national monument and reserve. She left her home in the Albuquerque area of New Mexico on January 31st of 1971 and began the long drive down to this national monument. I say long, but it's roughly 8 hours and 45 minutes. That's based on today's time with probably more traffic. Back then, I don't know what it would have taken, but roughly around that amount of time. Here is a map to just give you an idea. According to various reports, Carol stayed at what is known as the main campground. Here is a map of the area. As you can see, there's various passes, various trailheads. She set up her camp and was hiking around the different areas. As you can see, it's a very unique and beautiful spot, so it's not without wonder why so many tourists and people, especially studying biology, are drawn to this area. On one of the days of her hiking, she ran into a ranger and they were just talking, and she asked about more ideas of what hikes she could do. At the time, Carol was only 32 years old and she had over 10 years of hiking experience under her belt. She decided that she was going to do a hike known as the Bull Pasture Trail. This hike is described as intermediate level to more advanced. It climbs up the rim of this various canyon with very little shade. Here is a picture from All Trails showing you the actual trail itself, and then this is a picture of the actual area of the Bull Pasture Trail. According to people that have hiked this trail, it is a very long and difficult hike, and they must either choose to continue over the mountain or go back via the same route of the Estes Canyon Trail. This is just another map. And some more pictures to give you an idea of the terrain. This is a picture of the actual hike in and around the areas where she was that day, those 2 days. According to what the rangers thought, she went up to this area, then came back, and then headed back to Bull Pasture, possibly around February 3rd. It was on that day of February 3rd when a park ranger came upon Carol's car in the Bull Pasture Trail parking lot. It had a note on the windshield. It said, "I am a solo hiker. If I have not returned by the 4th, please send a park ranger out to search for me." We know that she was only carrying her canteen, she had her hiking boots, and we also know that she was carrying oranges with her that day. Based on all the items that were left behind at her campsite, we know that she was not planning on staying overnight anywhere. At this point, the rangers became concerned and they immediately started a ground search and rescue for Miss Carol Turner. The Pima County Sheriff's Office was originally in charge of the case, but eventually mountain rangers, several state and tribal agencies, and various volunteers from all over the place came out to try and assist with the search. As I stated, this was and still is the biggest search that ever took place in these mountains. It was highly covered in the press. I'm going to have various articles to show you, and as always, you can go back and read more. I'll leave that in the description. Despite all these efforts from all the agencies, all the volunteers that were involved, they found nothing. That was until roughly the 9th day after Carol vanished. One of the park rangers smelled something that he recognized from past experiences. Other searchers that were on the case also believed that they smelled what they thought was possibly a dead body. One of the lead searchers on this case, a gentleman by the name of Hal Koss, also confirmed this, so they started to concentrate their search in and around this area where they believed they smell this odor. They even brought in planes, circled the area. This is where many people on the search and rescue teams became scared. And I'm not talking about being scared of the terrain or falling or anything like that. They just got an eerie feeling about them. They felt like something was off. Some of them even reported seeing weird flashes reflecting off of the mountains that, hey, it could have been the sun. This is one of the only cases that I've covered where the search and rescue personnel actually reported having a spooky or eerie feeling. Not to mention having circled this entire area with dogs and professional personnel of all kinds, they still found nothing. They were still at this point not willing to give up. They had found some orange peels near one of the canyons that they believed that she was hiking on that day, so they continued on with this dogged search. They got as many ground volunteers as they could. Word had gotten out, and people actually were spooked. They just felt like something was off. They described it as quote-unquote spooky and eerie. The rangers that were helping with this search, they brought in a helicopter to help bring in special climbing teams, which they eventually did. These climbing teams were able to search many of the crevasses in and around the area that she was last thought to be seen. Unfortunately, even all of these efforts turned up not one clue. No trace of her, no clothing, nothing was ever found. According to one of the chief rangers for the Oregon Pipe area, he believed, quote, what may have happened is she wandered away from the basin of Bull Pasture and somehow injured herself. Perhaps she slipped and fell off the cliff. February 3rd, the weather was very cold and blustery. They thought perhaps to get out of the weather, she crawled into one of the thousands of small caves that are in and around that area. Sadly, however, through all these searches, the search eventually had to be called off. Nothing was ever found. And to this day, Carol Turner still remains missing. Her family never got any answers. Her family has always believed that she was abducted, which is a possibility. It's odd that she just disappeared without a trace. However, they did find those orange peels that leads more to the conclusion that she could have fallen. In any case, I want to dedicate this video to Carol Turner. Sadly, most of her family, her parents, have passed on since then, but I want to dedicate this to all her family and friends that are still looking for answers, and I hope that you will get them one day soon. I'd also love to hear from you guys what you think about this case, what you think maybe spooked those professional search and rescuers, and what made this case so unique and still to this day is the largest case search in that area. Thank you all for watching. As always, I appreciate all your feedback, your comments, support. Let me know if you have any case suggestions. I'll have more information coming up here at the end. Special thank you to co.ag for providing the background music. Hopefully I will see you all in the next one. Take care. Hey everyone, thanks for sticking with me to the end. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already subscribed, I'd ask you to please consider it. It's free. I will do everything I can to work on any case that you want me to work on. I'm really trying to improve a lot of things about the channel. As many of you already know that are subscribed, I donate a large portion of the income from the channel to search and rescue teams throughout the country, nonprofit organizations. I can share more of that with you later in the year when I have those totals. If you'd like to make a calendar submission for next year's merch calendar, please just email me. That's in the description as well. Also, if you'd like to be entered into the coin giveaway, all you have to do is leave me a comment saying you'd like to be entered into the coin giveaway with a case suggestion, feedback on this case or any other case, anything that you'd like. I really appreciate all your support. If you could donate anything to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. It all goes such a long way and helps me keep this channel unique and not having to use things like AI or sponsors or things like that. Thank you so much.